Hello everyone, in this video we are going to make a money tracker dashboard. So this project is not a full stack application, but it will be a front-end application which you can include in your portfolio projects. So the main motive of this project that we will be using Figma Motion, Tailwind CSS and the chart library in ReactJS. So you will be able to learn like how we can include all these things in the ReactJS application, right? So we have this template which I created in the Figma. We have a navigation bar and we have this dashboard component which includes some dummy cards and the chart which I created in this Figma, and we will be using Chartjs library to create it in React, and another some dummy cards as well. So we will be using Framer motion in it. So like when this button is clicked, right, we want this navigation to be shrinked like this, right? And when it is clicked again, we want it to be open like this. So you will see a little animation over there when we will be using Framer motion, right? And in the right hand side, we have some dummy components in the dashboard. And for this chart, we will be using Chartjs library. Okay, so let's start this project. So the first step which we will do is let's open up terminal, and let me go to the directory where I'll be creating this project. So I'll create one directory and let's give it name dashboard Vite. I'll just simply go to it and I'll install the ReactJS. So for compiling ReactJS, I'll be using Vite.js. Like you can use CRA, right, create React app, which comes with built-in Webpack bundler and compiler, but that is slow. So we'll be using Vite.js. So let me just write Vite with React installation, and you can do that example. You can go to get started Vite, and let me see. Okay, you can go to getting started, I think, and you'll see some examples over here. Yeah, let me just use this example and I'll just mention the template. Okay, as you can see, for npm 7 plus we need to use this. Okay, so yeah, let me open up my terminal and I'll just simply paste it. And I want to use the React template, and for this I'll write dot. I believe it should work because I want to create all this in my current directory. Let me just click enter and it will download all the libraries. Package name can be similar. Yeah, so let me just do ls. As you can see, it downloaded all the files which are necessary for this project, and now I'll download all the libraries which is required to run this project. It will take some time, and after it is done, we can open up VS Code and run the startup server, right? Let's wait for it. Yeah, it has downloaded it. Now we can write code dot to open up VS Code terminal, and let me open up my terminal over here. So what I'll do is I'll write npm run dev and it'll start the server, right? Yeah, so it will have this default page which comes with Vite, but we don't want it. So let's clear all this. So I'll clear all the code which is here. We don't want this extra code, and let's clear all of this. And I just want simple hello text, right? You can write it inside the paragraph. And I don't want any CSS as well, you can delete it. I don't want any index CSS as well, you can delete it. So yeah, for now we will be having this. Now next step which I want is to install Tailwind CSS in our project. So you can write Tailwind CSS docs, and I want it to be with Vite, right? And it will show you these steps. You can follow these. The first step is you need to copy this and paste it over in your terminal. So the first command line is installing all these libraries which are required for Tailwind CSS, and second command is generating some files which is required for the Tailwind CSS. Let's press enter. So after it is done, you will see two files have come over here. First one is post CSS, which is including these plugins, and the second is Tailwind config.js file, and we have to do some changes in this array. So you can find that from the documentation. So you can just simply copy it, and let me just paste it over here, and you can save it. Now we need to include these three things in index CSS. You can go to index CSS and paste it, and you need to restart the server now. So let me close the server which was running. You can press Ctrl C and you can start the server again, and let's see. So yeah, Tailwind CSS is working. To verify it, you can use the Tailwind CSS classes. So let me write text center to make it center, and as you can see, it went to center, so it means Tailwind CSS is working. Now the third step is we want to make this navigation bar, right? So the first is this logo. So let's do that. Let me clear all these logos which is not required for me. I can delete it. Let me just delete it. Okay. Let me minimize everything. I think, yeah. So I have this assets folder which you can use. I'll be including its link in the description. So let me just use it directly. You can just simply, copy this folder when you will be downloading it. Wait, it should not come here. Let me undo this. Okay, wait. Wait, I'll be deleting it. I don't want it to be. Why it's not deleting? Yeah, so I want one assets folder inside our src, and it has some like logo, and as well it has the icon, right? Now what I'll be doing is, inside app.jsx I want two components. So the first one will be navigation bar, and the second one will be our main component, right, where you will be seeing your dashboard. So for now it will be empty, and here we want our navigation bar. So when you will be saving it, obviously it will give you error, maybe because you don't have this. Wait, let me minimize it. Yeah, so let me go to Chrome. Yeah, for now we will not be able to view anything because this component does not exist. Let me create one components directory over here, and here we will be creating our navigation bar. For creating a template directly, I have this extension where you can just simply type RFCE and it will give you this template. So this extension name is ES7 plus React Redux. You can also download and install it. So let me just save it and let me import it. Now as you can see, we are able to see it. So in navigation bar, what I want is, so the first thing I want is to have a logo, right? So this will be logo dev, and the first thing will be image, which will show you the icon, and the second thing will be the logo name. For our case it is money tracker. Okay, you can save it. So it'll give you some error because you haven't written any image over here. So let's import the image. You can write import logo from assets, and inside assets we have this logo.png. Let's save it and yeah, include the logo over here. Now you will be able to see the logo, but it's coming in the vertical line. So for having it in same line, you can use flex, and let's give some spacing as well between it. Yeah, and we want everything to be like centered, and yeah, let's give some padding to it, px 10, py 12, and everything will be in vertical line. Yeah, now it's looking good. And we also want some border. Okay. Yeah, and we want it to be width 1/5 like this. Yeah, and we want it to be full screen. Yeah, like this. Now we will include all the navigation links that we need. So as you can see, we have 1 2 3 4 5 navigation links, right? So you can create an array over for this. So you can write nav links, and it will contain an object. So the first will be containing the name. First is dashboard, and second one is the icon. So for icon we will be using lucide icons. I'll do that later. Let me just simply copy it. Okay, so next icon is, I think, activity. Then we have analytics. Fourth one we have transactions. Then we have help center, right? Now what we will do is we will basically loop over this array and show all the navigation links. So let me create one more div over here, and you can give classes empty 9, and everything will be vertically aligned, and space between all of them will be maybe 8. So let's loop over all of them, and what I'll do is I'll create one more div. Let's give key to it as well, because React gives you error if you haven't given key to the elements which are you are showing in the loop, right? So inside this, for now, I'll just simply show the navigation name inside a span element. So you can access the name using item.name, right? So yeah, as you can see, all links are coming. Let me give some little margin. Yeah, this one is fine. Now what we will do is yeah, we need to include the icons, right? Icons are not coming. So for that we will be using lucide.dev. You can go to lucide.dev. It has some beautiful and consistent icons which you can use. You can go to view all icons and you can search the icon which you need. So let me just first install this. So for React, you have npm install lucide react library. You can install this, and after it is installed, let me import it. Lucide react. Yeah, so we want at least 5 icons. The first icon we need is layout dashboard. Second, we need let me see. So for activity, some clock icon is there, right? So you can write clock 3, and third icon is analytics. For that we'll be using bar chart 2. Fourth icon is transaction 1. So you can search it over here if you're not sure what will be the name of the icon. So as you can see, we want something similar to this. So its name is arrow right left. In the tooltip you can see, right? So we will be writing arrow right left, and the last icon is help circle icon. So you can include these icons here. So the first one is layout dashboard, second is clock 3, this one is bar chart, then we have arrow right left, and then we have help circle icon, right? Okay, now what we will do is we will show these icons over here. So you can write item dot icon. Yeah, you can save it and wait. Yeah, let me see. So as you can see, all icons are coming perfectly fine, but we want it to be like aligned horizontally, right? So you can use Tailwind CSS class flex, and we want at least space to be 3. Yeah, it's looking good now, and yeah, it's fine. Now let's create this division with this color. So color for this is this one. Let me just copy it, and I want it to be background color. Wait, so basically what I'll do is I want to include background color only if the element is active, right? But for now I'll just because I'm making only the one navigation and the one main component, right? So you can hard code it like the first element is active, right? I'll leave it to you guys like how you can handle this. It would be a great learning process. So basically what you have to do is whenever any link is clicked, you have to maintain some state, right? To be able to remember like which navigation was active or which navigation is currently active. So for now, I'll hard code that okay, the first navigation is always active. So let me create one state over here. Its name will be active nav index or name, whatever. Sorry, set active nav index. So for now I'll just I'm hard coding it like always 0th index is active initially, and I can write over here if active nav index equal to the current index, right? I want it to be background, this one, and I want it to be text white with text font semi bold, right? Let me just okay, yeah. And like basically if active nav index is equal to the current index, we want it to be having this background color, else we don't want anything. Okay, let me include space as well before this because we will be combining all these classes, so you need some space, right? Let me just verify it. Yeah, as you can see, this is coming. And also we want some padding as well, so you can write p2. Yeah, we want rounded as well. Nice. So this one is done. If you want me to do this one as well, like when this is clicked you want to change this as well, that is fine also. Basically you need to include one on click over it, and here what we'll do is we'll basically set the active nav index to the current index. That's it. It will be very simple, right? See, it's working. So that was very simple. Like I just left it to you because I wanted to you to try it, but yeah, it's fine because it took just 1 second, so I explained it to you. You can also mention in the comment if you have any doubts still. So basically what we are doing is we are basically setting the active nav, and here we have written a small logic that if both of the index are same, we want this color to be there, right? It's pretty simple. Now we will make this make main component, but one thing is left. I think we have this arrow over here, right, in the design. Yeah, and we also need to include framer motion here, and we will see how we can include the framer motion, right? So basically when this button is clicked, we want this navigation to shrink and vice versa, right? And we'll be having some small animation over there, and for that we will be using framer motion. So yeah, let me create that icon. Okay, I'll write div, and I want it to be a little small circle. I can write w5 h5 and bg color. I think I have copied it already. Yeah, and I want it to be rounded full. Let me just check it whether it is coming. Yeah, it's coming. And I want it to be absolute right negative top 12. Let me see. Yeah, it's basically become absolute to the parent div, but we want it to be absolute to this navigation div. So what you can do is in your navigation div you can write relative. Yeah, so we want it to be little over here, so you can decrease this. Maybe 3 would work fine, or 2. Yeah, still it's not that accurate. Let me check whether we can give in point. I'm not sure. Yeah, we cannot. Maybe it will be in pixels, right? Okay, 4.5 still 7.5 9.5. okay, this one is perfect. Yeah, this one is perfect. Now we want to include one icon inside it, so I have that icon already inside the icons directory, so you can import it. I'll write image source and that icon name. That icon name will be right arrow, and I want it to be width maybe 2. Let me import it over here. You can write import right arrow from assets icons and name of the icon right arrow.svg. Let me save it. Yeah, as you can see, icon is coming, but it's coming little to the left. So what we will do is we will make this flex items center, justify center. Yeah, icon is coming nice. Let's decrease this width maybe. Yeah, or maybe 2 pixels will be fine. No, 6 pixels. I mean, you can experiment it according to you, whichever looks good. So yeah, this is looking nice, but it's not center to this. So maybe we can increase top. Yeah, it's looking nice. Now what we want is, like, when this button is clicked, we want this to shrink and have some little animation and vice versa, right? So for the motion, we will be using Figma motion. Let's go to its website, and like it has a lot of examples over here. In this you can see it, right? And we'll be using one similar example which we have in the example section. I'll be showing you in a bit. So let me just first install it. So for installing, what you can do is you can copy this command and you can paste it. It'll basically install the Figma motion library which is required for a React project. Now let's include this here. You can write import motion from Figma motion, right? You can save it, and with this div we will write motion.div and in the last as well. So basically with this prefix, your div will be able to use the motion libraries, you can say commands or features, right? So inside motion.div we can access one property which name is animate. I think I imported wrong. Let me check in the documentation. Okay, yeah, I have to include this curly braces which I forgot. So yeah, because it's not exporting it by default, so that's why you have to write curly braces. So yeah, now you can use the properties which motion exports, right? So first property we want to use animate, and inside animate what I will be doing is I'll be writing one condition, like when this navigation bar is expanded, I want to use expanded variant, otherwise I want to use the non-expanded variant, right? Okay, question mark will be here, right? Yeah, so but we haven't initialized these variants, right? So what you can do is you can go over here, you can initialize these variants inside variants variable. So the first property is expanded. So basically when the navigation is expanded, what I want is I want width of this to be maybe 20%, right? And if it is non-expanded, I want my navigation bar to have width as little as 5% maybe. Let's experiment these values. I'm not sure what will be the values exactly, how it will look, so let's experiment it. Okay, so we have a similar example like this in the example as well. If you want to check it out, you can check it out. You can go to example section and you can scroll down, and we have this variance example. In this example, what they are doing is they are animating this navigation, and when it is opened, they're using this open variant, otherwise they're using closed variant. And as you can see, when it is opened, basically opacity will become 1 and exposition will be 0, and when the navigation will be closed, like it will be vice versa, opacity will be 0 and exposition whatever you want to keep it. And how they are changing this variants, basically when the toggle is clicked, they're basically toggling this variable. So it's pretty simple. So we will be using similar example like this. So yeah, we created the variants. Now how we will be using these variants? Yeah, so you have to mention variants, and inside this you will write variance object, right? Now, but we don't have this is expanded property. For that we will be creating is expanded state, and initially it will be true, like initially our navigation will be expanded by default. let me see in the website how it's looking. So yeah, when you will click on this, you will see nothing is happening. Okay, yeah, because you didn't write on click, right? So how it will happen? So you can write on click, and when it is clicked, what I want to is I'll basically set is expanded to the opposite. Like whatever value it has initially, it will be set to opposite. Like if it is initially false, it will be set to true, and vice versa. Let me click on it. Yeah, as you can see, navigation bar is becoming like it's getting shrinked, right? But still some issues is there with the icons because of padding. We have to fix it. So let's fix it one by one. So the first thing we need to do is when it is shrinked, we want this name to be invisible. So let's do that first. So you can write class name, and you can write one condition over here, and condition will be if it is expanded, we want it to be having block class, else I want it to be hidden. It's as simple as that. So when you click on it, as you can see, name is invisible, but yeah, our icon is also getting invisible because of the padding issue. We need to fix it. I think so. Let me check it. Yeah, for that what you can do is, I think we need to also write condition on this. Let me just decrease the padding. Yeah, as you can see now it's working nice, right? Logo is not getting disappeared. So for padding also we might have to include the condition, then it will work fine. So what you can do is you can write if it is expanded, I want it to be the same, sorry, px 10, I think, right? And otherwise I want very less padding, maybe px2. Let's see. Yeah, px2 or maybe px4 would also work fine, I think. Yeah, so the next thing which we will do is the icon names, which is here. So you can write the same thing. I think it will work fine. Where it is, yeah, this one. You can write the same classes. Where here. I think it will work fine. Yeah, save it and it will work fine. So our navigation bar is working fine, and we wanted this exactly, right? So when it is clicked, we want the name and links to both come, and when it is again clicked, so this should shrink and only the icon should be visible. So it's working nice. We wanted this, right? Now the next step is we want to include the components which is in the right hand side. So let's create that, you know, fatafat se. So let me save everything. Let me close all the open files here. So basically what I'll do is I'll create one more component over here, and you can give it name dashboard, right? You can press RFCE and you can save it, and inside app.jsx you can include your dashboard component. It will be automatically imported because I already created this file. If it's not, you can press control space and it'll give you some suggestions to import it, or you can include it manually. Both options are correct, right? Let me save it and you will be able to see the dashboard. Okay, what's the mistake? It didn't come, right? Wait. Let me give some classes as well. You can give it flex, grow. This will be width full. Okay, it's still not coming, right? Let me inspect it, where it went. I'm not sure. Okay, we have this dashboard, but it's not visible. Where it went? Strange. Okay. As you can see, it went to like little end. So basically it's a small issue. What you can do is you can write flex. That's it. Yeah, it was pretty simple. You can close the inspect. So yeah, this one is fine. So what I'll do is here I'll use h2 dashboard, and I want it to be flex column and padding to be exactly same which it was. Yeah, you can give maybe more padding as well if you want. And yeah, it's looking nice. It's just that arrow is not vertically centrally aligned. Let me see in the navigation bar how much is the padding. It's where is the padding? Yeah, p by 12 I included, right? Okay. Yeah, for this maybe we can do like 14 pixels. Let me check how it's coming. I mean, it's not good practice to be including in the pixels because it always changes, right? So let me see, 15 would be nice, or 16 would be nice, 18. Yeah, I mean, it's all experimenting. I'm experimenting. It's not getting refresh, I think. Top 20. I don't know, maybe it's some issue related to, okay, sorry, I was writing brackets. That's why it was not coming. It was my mistake. Yeah, it is fine for now. So let's create dashboard components. So what you can do is I can go and you can give class name flex space. I want at least maybe 8. I want 2 div inside it. So the first will be having div 2 by 5 and height would be maybe 100 pixels or 150 pixels. Inside it I'll just simply write my name Yatharth Verma, and you can write your balance is rupees 20,000. You can save it. Yeah, and we want it to be having some border, and we want it to be rounded, and we want it to be flex column. Yeah, and we want some padding and empty 5. Yeah, this one is looking nice, and I want text to be little in the range of 600. That'll look nice. And for this I want class name text gray 400 maybe, or 500. Yeah, this one is looking nice. You can simply copy this again, and this one will be your expenses around 40,000. Yeah, border can be little lighter, I guess, or I think you don't even need to write it. That will have by default lighter border. You can remove this. Yeah, it's looking much nicer. Now we need to include the chart and these 2 components again. Let me just copy this again, and inside second div I only want my expenses chart. You can include this inside a div or maybe h2. Okay. Yeah, it will be your activity. Here you can have like you sent rupees 10,000 to your mother. It can be anything. For now I'm writing dummy data, but it's just for showing you reference like how you can create all these components. Second will be let me check in the Figma. It is your activity and pending bills. So let me just simply copy it and write it over here. Right, let me see it how it's looking. It's not looking great. We need to give some spacing, and okay, wait. Yeah, here space y 10 will be fine, I think. Okay, it's too much space. Why 6? Okay, we don't need to give the this one. I think why I have given it. This one is not required. I think I don't know why I have given it. It's creating a mess. Okay, now it's looking good. Now we need to just include this expenses chart. Let me improve this one as well. So for this I want it to be a little have a top margin. Same here. Sorry, class name empty4. Yeah, now it's looking good. Now we just need to include this expenses chart. So for chart we will be using Chartjs too. You can go to its documentation, it has some examples. Yeah, I'll be including this link in the description. So they have a lot of examples, right? And we want to use this example, this one, it's coming. Yeah, we will be using exactly this and we'll be modifying it, and I'll be showing you how we can exactly modify it and make something similar to this, right? So let's see. So the first thing which you need to do is install the library. So for installing it you need to install both of these. Let me just copy this one, so you can paste it and it'll install both Chartjs and ReactJS. Now let me go to my dashboard component and use it. I think you can directly copy these examples and just slight modifications will be required, and I'll be showing you what are those. Just simply copy it, or maybe you can do one thing. Let's create a different component so that you don't so that we don't write messy code over here. So you can create one more component. You can give it name chart.jsx and rfce. Just copy this code and paste it, and also it's not exported correctly, so you can write export default function. And we need to change the data sets over here. We only want one data set, not two data sets, right? So you can delete this and I'll write the data in some time. And this labels are correct. It's just we want in this format. We'll write Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December, right? And we are not using TypeScript, so you can remove it. Also, okay, I'll do that later on. Okay, so these are some small modifications which I did. So the first modification was this. I added more labels, and the second modification was here. We don't need these two data sets. So basically, what are data sets? Let me show you. In this example, you can see we have two data sets, right? We have two lines which are coming, and we want only one line. So that means we only want one data set. So that was the main reason why we wanted this. Cool. Let me just enter some dummy data over here. Maybe 10,000, 20,000, 15,000, 12,000, 14,000, 8,000. Save it. Yeah, let's import this component in our dashboard. So we want our chart to come over here. So you can write chart, and yeah, let me just let me auto import it. I think if it's coming, yeah, it will not come because I've given the name which is already there in the Chartjs library. You must give a different name, I guess, but for now it's fine. You can write import chart from chart. Let me see whether it is coming or not. As you can see, our graph is coming. Great. Now we need to do one thing, because chart is coming a little big. Let's let me just decrease this width first. Where it is? Yeah, I want it to be in less width, maybe 4 by 5. Okay, let me see whether it is working. It's still not working. It might be here, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, this is fine, and we want everything to be vertical. Okay, now it's looking good. Now the next thing which I need to do is, as you can see, it's not coming like it's coming straight line, right? And in our graph you can see we have this line in a curve form. So we only have to add one property. Okay, I'll show you what is that one property. So in Chartjs, you see we are providing some options, right? So in option we have this one property which name is tension. You can give it 0.3 or 4. Let's test it. So you'll see it is becoming somewhat curvy, right? So yeah, you can experiment it according to you. 0.3 is fine, I think. Yeah, so let's add more data sets, then it'll look much more nicer. So let me include maybe 20,000. This one is very high value. 12,000, 8,000, 3,000. I think this one is fine. Yeah, it's looking nice. Maybe we can decrease it to make it good looking. This can be 15, this can be 12, this can be 14, this can be 17. Yeah. Yeah, this one is looking nice, I think. Okay, let me take this up. So yeah, let's change this title as well. We don't want this, I think. You can change that property where it is in the options, where it is option. Yeah, we don't want title, or if you want to show the title you can change this. You can write your expenses. Yeah, it's coming. And also you want to show a meaningful information over here, so you can write where it is. Yeah, you can write basically amount of money you spent, right? And if you scroll over here you can see the amount of money you spent in June was around 15,000. So in this way you can create a beautiful looking chart, I believe. So I hope you learned a lot in this video. So basically 2-3 things were made over here in this video. The first thing was like how you can create this this navigation bar which I created, right? And also when you will click over here, like how you can make it shrink or expanded, and also how you can make these navigation links invisible and only show the icons. And also you can see we have a beautiful looking animation. So that's what Figma motion does, right? It automatically creates animation for you. You don't have to write a lot of CSS classes for the animation. So that's what exactly cool about Figma motion. And second, we learned how to include charts. So we have a very beautiful library, React Chartjs 2, which you can use and modify. Basically internally it uses Chartjs, and also like you must be thinking like, why did I mention this tension, right? So I'll leave it to you, and you can go through Chartjs documentation and you'll find a lot of options which you can provide to this object, because internally it's using Chartjs API, right? So you can see all these properties there, like what it does. So yeah, that was all for this video, and I hope you learned something in this video. I'll be including the necessary links in the description, like the Figma template link and all the links which I used in the description, so that you can look at, and if anything is missing, go through the video again maybe. And yeah, I'll store this in my GitHub. I think it's already stored. I'll go to my GitHub because I created this project before making this video. So this project is already here in the dashboard v2 repository. Yeah, you can start this repo, you can fork this repo, and yeah, you can share it as much as you want. I hope this video was helpful, and yeah, like the video and subscribe the channel, guys. Thanks.